Have you ever heard about a lot of people getting CERB and maybe that contributing to it, the payment?
The payments? No, that just gave us extra money to run around.
Right, so you don't think that contributed?
That just gave us an extra day of running. That's just an extra day for a habit, because that's how much their habits are.
Right.
Right, their habits are very expensive, right?
Yeah.
So that $2,000 was peanuts.
Yeah.
6 months ago in a Toronto hospital, they treated the first known COVID-19 case in Canada. Since then, you and I have learned a lot about the mysterious virus, including that the grim predictions of overwhelmed hospitals laid out to us by experts never quite materialized. Now, thankfully, false predictions remain the case for one vulnerable community in Vancouver, BC. You see, not only are the people in this area not being plagued with COVID-19, as was believed to be the case should any cases pop up there, instead, testing has actually indicated that the people there are less likely to test positive for the virus compared to those in the surrounding areas. But unfortunately, even though this area has seemed to dodge some sort of COVID-19 bullet, instead the government-funded response to COVID-19, not COVID-19 itself, could be partially to blame for why we are still seeing an increase in deaths in the community. So, what was the actual reality regarding COVID-19 spreading through the Downtown Eastside and substance abuse and alcohol abuse skyrocketing at the same time? Let's start with the medical mystery first. CBC News reported that out of the approximate 15,000 people that inhabit 30 square blocks around the East Hastings area, pop-up testing clinics who tested the residents' blood for coronavirus found only a handful of the residents have tested positive for the virus and for antibodies. Similarly, Victoria, BC's homeless population has also seemingly gone rather unscathed from the virus. But unfortunately, these communities didn't catch a complete break regarding the many layers of the pandemic onion. Since the lockdown, increased substance abuse and overdoses are soaring across BC. CBC reported that on June 26, BC paramedics responded to 131 overdose calls. Friday, that is the most recorded in a single day in the area, period. Additionally, in May, BC recorded 170 fatal overdoses. That was the highest single month total ever recorded here. This is when we were actually getting better on deaths from overdoses. So now what on earth could be causing more overdoses? Correction, the most overdoses we've seen in a short amount of time in BC after the lockdown. Will you remember that little golden ticket being passed around called CERB that Trudeau and his Liberals frivolously handed out to everyone and their dog, right? What if such negligence regarding how easy it was for everyone to get CERB unintentionally contributed to the increases we're seeing in fatal overdoses? It appears I'm not the only one who's asking this question. Global News did a commentary piece questioning if the sudden spike in overdoses could be linked to CERB. They reported that the former BC Health Minister, Terry Lake, said he heard stories supporting the theory, stating that they often have been encouraged to apply for CERB even though they may not qualify by people willing and wanting to sell them illicit drugs. Trudeau, Trudeau, Trudeau. Now, with all these questions regarding the Downtown Eastside, I believe the people who frequent that area will have valuable opinions on what they think the reasons are for the increased overdoses, as well as seemingly swatting away the coronavirus bug better than the rest of us. So let's watch and see what they had to say.
One of the reasons we're down here is we're just trying to figure out why it seems that less test positive for coronavirus in this area. We know you're not a medical professional, but what would be some of the guesses you have for that?
Well, one of the guesses, of course, is I believe Jesus Christ has given them a special immune system, because I think if you and I spent 2 or 3 nights in the middle of winter sleeping on a piece of cardboard, we'd die of pneumonia in no time. That's my belief, that he's got a special protection hand on them.
Okay, and are you familiar or have you heard anything about how less people seem to be testing positive in this area for the
I haven't
coronavirus?
even heard a case down here.
You haven't heard one case?
Not one case down here.
And would you say you know a lot of people out here, or?
Everybody knows me.
I just saw somebody walk by and say hey, right?
Everybody knows me.
Can you think of anything that might have contributed to our highest ever day of overdoses in BC and our highest ever month of overdoses in BC?
Maybe because of all of those, all of that funding that people are getting through the coronavirus. There's a lot of people that are cashing big checks, like $2,000, $4,000 for the CERB program. So that could be the reason why, people are overdosing, because they got money.
Some people are saying maybe it's linked to how easily you could get CERB, the payment. The payment the government gave after...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think a lot of people were getting it quite easy and maybe spending it? One guy said, that's basically a day, an extra day of things.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. Our habits are still going on. We still do our daily thing, right? But nothing's changed for us.
Well, I guess
we cross the street, yeah, we see the change. We feel the change.
Right.
But we don't, when we get back in here into the east side, yeah, our world hasn't changed.
Are you aware of a lot of people getting CERB in this area?
Yeah,
Yeah. You think it's pretty easy to get a hold of it, right?
it is. All you need to have is a social insurance number, a bank account, and if you know the phone number, you can get it.
Yeah, and when you have a lot of money, thousands of dollars, then you might end up overdosing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So have you ever heard about a lot of people getting CERB and maybe that contributing to it, the payment?
The payments? No, that just gave us extra money to run around.
Right, so you don't think that contributed?
That just gave us an extra day of running. That's just an extra day for a habit, because that's how much their habits are.
Right.
Right, their habits are very expensive, right?
Yeah.
So that $2,000 was peanuts.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the belief from some people, or the rumor, I should say, that a lot of people are getting CERB in this area that maybe shouldn't be getting a CERB, and then that's giving them a lot of money, or have you not come across that at all?
Well, I do know that April was our most busiest month. We handed out 9,750 sandwiches in April. But this month we'll probably be down to about 3,000 because of as this is welfare week. This will be our lowest week,
Right.
but we still got we'll be still handing out about well over 1,000 sandwiches today.
And do you think that the decrease in how many sandwiches you're giving out is also related to how easily people can get CERB payments, or?
Yes, of course. This is what the people are telling me, and we've seen our numbers go down drastically. As I say, it's gone down at least 70%.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for the work that you're doing here. We need people and organizations just like this, so thank you so much.
So what do you think? Are we seeing more than economic consequences from the negligent way the Liberals dished out CERB? Consequences that could be contributing to the loss of Canadians, but not by the virus? I'm Drea Humphrey with Rebel News. Looks like I'm losing my light here, but I just wanted to say, isn't it refreshing to be able to get some news that isn't always pushing the same type of narrative? Here at Rebel News, we like to report the other side of the story, but doing so comes with taking some heat from those who would never do the same. That's why we could really use your help right now. If you'd like to help fund our legal expenses to fight post-media censorship of our reporters, Sheila Gunn-Reid and Kian Bexty, please head to letusreport.ca. We appreciate your support.